There are several ways for a father to lose a child, all excruciating. But the dads you're about to meet are suffering a special kind of hellish frustration. One day they have beautiful sons or daughters, and the next day the child is gone, spirited across the globe with no way to make contact. And what follows is a trip into a diplomatic black hole where all that stands in the way of a reunion is the government of one of America's closest allies. Here now is Abby Boudreau for this Nightline Investigates.
In a country half a world away, we went in search of these missing American children, some as young as 3 years old. All of them taken by Japanese mothers from American fathers and now living in Japan.
How many of you had your children taken from you and now they are somewhere in Japan?
There are currently 140 American children there, cut off from contact with an American parent.
I haven't even heard my kid's voice in a year and a half.
It's a black hole for child abduction from which no child has ever returned.
Paul Toland, a Navy commander, hasn't had contact with his daughter since she was 9 months old. She's about to celebrate her 9th birthday. We went to Japan armed with photos, missing posters, and last known addresses. We found some children hidden in plain sight, like Commander Toland's daughter.
Erica Toland was just a little baby when she was taken off a U.S. military base in Japan by her mother. Years after she was taken off the base, her mother committed suicide. And ever since, she's been raised by her grandmother in Japan.
We spotted Erica with the help of a private investigator that Commander Toland has had tracking her for years. We wait until Erica's dropped off at school, then we approach her grandmother, Akiko Futagi.
Stop it. Stop it.
Through our Tokyo producer, we ask her why she won't let Commander Toland see his daughter.
He
won't come see her.
He won't come see her?
Yeah.
He says he misses her.
He says that actually he doesn't pay anything.
He doesn't pay
to bring her up.
So you're raising her?
Yes.
And would you allow him to see her?
No.
No? Why?
But there's no network for money between Paul and me.
She accuses Toland of being a deadbeat father. He says he has tried to put money in a bank account for Erica, but her grandmother turned it down. The commander has tried to get the U.S. Department of State to intervene. But we saw firsthand how powerless American authorities are when we went in search of Japanese women on the FBI's most wanted list for parental kidnapping. Reiko Nakata-Collins is one of them. We talked to a woman we believe is her sister.
Do you know Reiko?
I'm sorry, no comments.
No comments? Did you know she's on the FBI's most wanted list?
I'm sorry, no comments.
Where are they? Where are they?
No comments.
Where is she? Where is this young boy? His father wants to see him.
Then, 2 plainclothes Japanese police officers approach us. We show them the FBI wanted poster.
We are the Japanese police, and she's not violating any Japanese law, so she cannot do anything.
So because she's not violating any Japanese law, even though she's wanted by the FBI, you're not going to do anything about it?
Can't do anything.
And it turns out that is true. Japanese law does not recognize U.S. custody orders or arrest warrants, leaving the U.S. government helpless in these situations. In one instance, a mother who admitted to abducting her child sat down to talk with us. We agreed not to show her face or use her name. She says spiriting her son out of the States was simple.
That was very easier to me.
It was easy?
Yeah.
Scott Sawyer last saw his son Wayne 2 years ago, right before he was abducted and taken to Japan.
My concern is for my son. I mean, what kind of life is he having in Japan right now? It's what has he been told about why he can't see his father?
Sawyer and his wife had problems in their once happy marriage after their son Wayne was born.
She had said repeatedly, I want to take the baby to Japan, and I knew that if that happened, that they wouldn't come back.
Sawyer filed for divorce. According to court documents, Sawyer told the judge that his wife was a flight risk. She was ordered to turn over her passport and to not leave the country with their son. Still, during an unmonitored visit, she packed up her apartment and their young son and boarded a plane to Japan. One day later, an email from his ex-wife. It says in part, "Now it's time to start this game in Japanese rules. If you report me to the police, you can't see Wayne." Within moments of showing up at her parents' house, we see her leave the driveway with Wayne on the back of her bike. When they get home, we approach her.
My name is Abby Boudreau. I'm with ABC News. We know all about your story, and we wanted to talk to you about it from your...
You know about
Yes.
his story, you know.
She tells us she's happy to talk, and we followed her to a nearby park.
I changed my whole life to get married with him.
She says married life in the U.S. was difficult, and that her husband refused to let her visit Japan with their son.
But he said absolutely no.
She tells us once her husband filed for divorce, she felt abandoned.
Do you consider yourself a kidnapper?
That was at the time. My choices was just two: kidnapper or die.
Die?
Right. I can't live in Los Angeles.
Okay. So you did what you had to do, you felt.
And then she tells us exactly what we traveled so far to find out.
The judge asked you to turn over your passport. How did you do it?
That was very easier to me.
It was easy.
Yeah.
The Japanese consulate told us that they only issue passports to minors with the consent of both parents. Still, she was able to get one.
I explained the Japanese embassy. I lost it.
Okay, so you told the Japanese embassy, I lost my passport.
Then she admitted giving the consulate a fake name for her son, and they didn't double check. Back in the U.S., we showed portions of this interview to the State Department.
It's very, very frustrating for me.
Some might consider this a national security threat.
That could be.
Japan has not signed the Hague Treaty that protects children from international abduction, so the U.S. government has no legal recourse. Still, the fathers feel their country has failed them.
The president considers it a priority. Secretary Clinton considers it a priority.
Isn't that enough power?
It's not a question of power. It's a question of persuasion. Japan has to do the right thing.
For Nightline, I'm Abby Boudreau in Japan.